All right, IED. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to make a small little copy of earbuds for the design a protective case. I believe that is 1.3.7. And these are optional. These are just if you had something that you wanted to try to fit into an assembly, or if you needed some sense of scale or something like that. So we're just going to make a really, really small version of the earbuds themselves. And it's going to be really simple, really straightforward, not meant to be something like super complicated. So here's we go. We're going to go Sketch and click on the top view. Move the view cube to the top, and we're going to make a rectangle. And this rectangle is going to be, let's see, we took some dimensions for some AirPods earlier, and it's 1.6 across, and it looks like 0.652 high. So I'm going to click here, and then 1.6 inches across and 0.652 high, and that looks like, oops, nope, that's for the whole thing. Hang on, used the wrong measurement. That looks a little bit big. The end of the earbuds, so we're gonna go 0.25. Let's make this a lot skinnier. There, like that. 0.25 and 1.6. And we're going to finish that sketch, and we're going to use the extrude button, and we're going to extrude upwards another 0.25 inches. Make sure you hit enter and then click the green check mark. And this is going to be like the base to our AirBuds, whatever they are. I sound like I'm 65 years old. The next thing that we need to do is we need to add the ear, the little sketch component that goes inside the ear. So we're going to click on sketch. We're going to click on the top section right here, and we're going to make a circle on that object. Now, keep in mind, you want to try to get in the middle of the circle. So the trick that you can use with Onshape is move your mouse over to the side that has the geometry that you want to put it on, and let's just go ahead and say about 3/4 of the way through. It doesn't have to be perfect, but about 3/4 of the way, a little bit. Make a circle that goes over to your endpoint and then click. For me, it looked like it had a diameter of 0.7. You can just eyeball it. This is meant to be quick. This isn't meant to be like a specific version or brand. We're just making some quick measurements from class. All right, and then we're gonna make a smaller circle up on top, but there's nowhere to actually make that sketch. So let's go ahead and extrude a little bit on this. So I'm gonna finish the sketch. I'm going to go to the 3D mode, and I'm going to extrude just a little bit. Since I put it on that surface, I'm going to have to click on all three of these. 1, 2, 3. Potato's thinking about it. There we go. And we're going to make this very small, so 0.1 inches in thickness. That might actually still be a little bit too much. Why don't we go 0.075 inches, make it a little bit thinner, and then click the green check mark. All right, now we want to move this surface up. So we've got a couple of other options to kind of make this rounded. We could use the fillet, but the fillet's probably a little bit too round, to be honest. The thing that I'm going to use is I'm going to use the loft command. I think that's going to work out really well for us. It looks over here like the volcano. So we're going to click on the plane button. I'm going to click on this top part right here and move over to a side view. And I'm going to move this plane down to where it looks like I can get these earbuds to kind of bow out and where it's going to look like it can be stuck in your ear basically. So I don't know. Looks like about 0.15 inches. That seems reasonable. So I'm going to click the green check mark and I should have a drawing plane right there. I can use this to put my sketch on because there's nothing there for me to actually base it on. I need something there to start my sketch. So I'm going to click sketch. I'm going to click on plane 1 and I'm going to put a circle there, and it might help to project my geometry because right now if I try to make a circle, it's not going to show the middle of the circle and it's not going to snap to any geometry. So I'm going to click on this box right here that says project convert, and I'm going to click on the circle, and now I should be able to just click on this circle and click right on the middle. Let's go about 0.3 inches. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to just type in 0.3. And we can always modify this and see if it looks a little bit better or different. So I'm going to click there, go to the top view. You can see how I've got like a little bitty circle right here. We're going to go loft, so I'm going to finish my sketch, click on the loft button, and then we're going to click on, let's see if I can click on this bottom circle, and then on the top thin circle, and it should loft into place. There we go. And see how it looks a lot different. Click the green check mark. See how it looks a lot different from a fillet? So these things are going to fill it in place. Now, from the way that I did it, it kind of looks like you could just use a chamfer instead too. So if you wanted to play around with the chamfer commands, you could easily try to get it to chamfer. But this is not a 45-degree chamfer, so you might have to play with the settings around a little bit. I just kind of figured that the loft mode was easier. Let's get this side over here rounded. So since this is 0.25 by 0.25, I'm going to use the fillet command, and I'm going to make my radius 0.125. That way, whenever I click on one edge and then I click on the other edge, they're going to round out from each other. So instead of having a rectangle, we're going to basically fillet this down into a circle, like so. And I'm going to probably, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go back because I'm going to do one thing specifically for 3D printing. So I'm going to redo this. I'm going to go fillet. The top two are perfectly fine at 0.125, but the bottom two, I actually probably want a little bit of a flat surface so that I can 3D have a flat body to 3D print on the bottom. So I'm going to try to just fillet these corners over here in the back, make it look rounded. And then at the bottom, I don't want to use 0.125, so I'm going to click the green check mark. I'm going to make that fillet on the bottom a little bit smaller. So I'm going to move over to this bottom view. I could just 3D print it like this, and I'd need to add some supports over on this side, but that's not going to be too big of a deal. But I could also just add like a really small fillet to still give it that roundness, and I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. So I'm going to click the fillet button, and I'm going to use, instead of 0.125, I'm going to just use a 0.1 inch fillet, and let's see what happens. I'm going to kind of experiment with this a little bit. It may tell me no. It's working. And I'm going to fillet this side over here too. Wait, why did I already fillet that side over there too? Okay, so magic. All right. I guess it filleted all the way around because it thought this bottom part back there was a curve. So this gives me at least a little bit of a flat surface to start my 3D print on. If it's not enough, I'm going to try it out. If it's not enough, I can always expand or make this fillet here smaller to give me more of a flat surface down here. So here's what this is what I'm going to be printing out. So here you go. This is like a little basic earbud. I guess if you wanted to add a little bit more of a, you could extrude this and then chamfer it around if you wanted to. But I think this gives you the basic idea for if you wanted to take something and stick it inside your protective cases, this would be a good thing. I'm going to 3D print these so that I have a couple available for people to just visually see and test out. So I hope you guys have a great day. Feel free to make these if you want to, and I'll talk to you guys later.